Hey you guys, it's Disney Love Anime. This is episode 22 of Yashahime. So just jumping right into it. Episode starts off with Karimaru and Toga taking out the comet, and this is actually taking place 500 years ago. What I thought was super funny is I'm assuming that this is already when Sesshomaru's mom and Inutashu, or Toga as you call him, had already separated. Zero's right here. And I think it's so funny, like, how they're just not even interacting with each other. Maybe because she knows that she has a crush on her ex-husband or whatever. But they end up taking out the comet. And I'm actually really happy that they're including some clips of Inuyasha's dad, just because in movie 3, I just felt like for this movie to be called Swords of Honorable Ruler, we hardly got to even see Inuyasha's dad except for like half of his face, and then the final part of the movie where he just turned blue and then he just disappeared, and that was it. That was the whole time we got to see him. So I'm glad that they included the clip. So him and Kuromaru are taking out the comet, and after it's been defeated, Kuromaru is sleeping, and Zero comes down, and I guess they're kind of like having this conversation about the endless path of life, and basically he makes this comment that I would like for you to stay how you are, Lady Zero. And I kind of feel like she looked into this conversation a little bit more than what he was thinking. Like, I think that he was just being nice to her, and I think she just kind of took it as he was flirting with her, but I don't think in his mind he was flirting with her, if that makes sense. So Zero is like, when he jumps up into the moonlight, it's like Zero's like fantasizing about him, but it's weird because I don't think the conversation was like, it was meant to be flirty. I think he was just trying to be nice to her, and she took it the wrong way, basically. So now it cuts back to Moroku training, and one thing I really don't like about the original characters, she looks like trouble. When he's saying, like, who are you? Who might you be? And what are you doing here? Like, she looks like fucking trouble. You see it. So she tells him this bullshit answer that, she doesn't have any demonic powers or whatever. And I guess that Moroku can't feel that she doesn't have certain powers, because I'm thinking that by her splitting her powers with the Shikan Jewel, she just probably doesn't give off a demonic aura or whatever. But I just feel like Moroku could have known sooner that she was up to no good. And he probably could have done something way before she started asking him to, release the seal. That's just how I feel, though. So, anyway, I was really surprised with this little. It wasn't even a fight scene. It was just her putting a spell on Moroku to seal him, basically with like the spider web type of stuff, and then she released the seal herself. So, cuts back to the girls, and what I think they're gonna do, they have to, because there's no reason why they would make Toa start daydreaming about Riku. Toa's daydreaming about Riku, so I think what's gonna happen is Riku's gonna be the one that's gonna make a decision on either killing the girls or doing the right thing and joining forces with them. So Setsuna asks, Toa, is she okay? Because, she sees that she's daydreaming. And Toa basically kind of like snaps out of it. So they meet up with Maroha, and Setsuna notices that she needs her blade resharpened. Maroha tells her, Maroha tries to sharpen it, but she also tells her that it's probably not the blade, it's probably you, so you probably need to go see Moroku, since this blade does seal your powers. So they make their way to, before we get to there, they do have this quick little scene with Kurimaru, and Kurimaru tells Zero basically that he doesn't feel like he has anything to worry about, because those girls can barely even touch him. They don't really have any powers. that are comparable to his. Yes, they are, the great dog demon's, grandchildren, but other than that, he's not really worried. Zero tells him that, well, I think he should be because basically they do still have, one of them has a seal. She basically says, like, screw Maroha. She's only a quarter demon, but the half demon twins are something you're going to have to worry about because one of their powers is sealed. So, like I said, that's that part where they're talking about the blade. And I know that, the running joke now is, Toa's very naive. But this was just really stupid. This random ass person taps you on the back. She looks suspect as fuck, and she's trying to sell you apples. It's just weird. I think Toa should have used a little bit of discernment to, get away, but whatever. But anyway, she puts Toa under this like spell where Toa's like linked to her. So Setsuna recognizes her eyes, and Setsuna realizes that these are the eyes that were watching her sleep and as a child. So they both know that Toa is underneath a spell, but they can't touch her because Zero has linked Toa to her. So there's really nothing they can do at this point. So she also makes this comment that she says, how many people will die with me? Okay. So I'm wondering, when we saw Sesshomaru basically agree to the forest fire, whatever happened, I'm thinking that Zero did kidnap Rin, and she put her in the tree, but maybe some type of way Sesshomaru has like a deal with Kurimaru and maybe a separate deal with Zero to keep Rin alive but sealed. Hopefully next episode they can tell us about that, because I did see Rin's eyes open up the next episode that comes after this, so hopefully we can get an answer what happened that night that Rin gave birth. But she does release the seal, and Setsuna does lose her mind. So what I thought was really interesting, Setsuna's energy or demonic energy glows green like Sesshomaru's poison claws. So what I really like for them to do is for them to make Toa turn into a full-fledged demon, because I would like to see what her powers are when she has been turned into a full-fledged demon. So we do see the other twin, Kinu. So she's a spiritual monk, and she actually is hilarious because she makes a joke about Moroku being stuck, and then they flash back to the scene with Toa still being linked. Maroha does use the Crimson attack, and I think the Heavenly Adamant barrage arrows, but that wasn't really doing shit to Zero. Even Zero had commented, you lack spiritual power, and you just don't have any skill set behind you. So this was really interesting to see. I was hoping that Sesshomaru would actually be inside the tree, but he wasn't. Sesshomaru was just by a tree, so I was thinking that Rin would come out and help calm Setsuna, but she didn't. But Sesshomaru was by the tree, so maybe he was visiting Rin some type of way, because I know he can come in and out of the tree from my understanding. So he just said the scent of the wind has changed and she still can't suppress her blood. So I actually was surprised that Sesshomaru didn't help her. Like, I know that Sesshomaru has a deal that he has to stay away from the girls, but I'm even surprised that he didn't even send like Jockin to like try to help her or something like that. I don't know. But Totosai, we did see Totosai again, so that was nice. Totosai makes a comment. Let's see. Totosai said the training of the Blood Blade has begun. So I'm thinking after Setsuna controls her power and, channels it better, she can actually make her own blade like Sesshomaru did. So Toa and Setsuna begin fighting each other, but Toa is trying to absorb her demonic energy, and it doesn't work. Actually, more demonic energy comes out, and it actually makes Setsuna come out with these butterfly wings, which I think is, Zero's demonic energy from either the Rainbow Pearls or Zero's demonic energy from, the seal being undone with Zero's powers. So basically, Setsuna has these butterfly wings, which was really cool because she could fly for a second, and Maroha does turn into Beniyasha. Now, this was actually a really cool little mini fight scene with Setsuna and Maroha, but, obviously Maroha can only last as Beniyasha for, less than 5 minutes. So, Setsuna does throw Maroha into a rock, and basically her transformation is undone at that point. Hisui and Kinu do come into the picture. They talk to Toa about, calming her down, and Toa actually gets behind Setsuna and calls out to her. And I really like that they did this versus Inuyasha when he would transform. They would never show Inuyasha in this dark place. They would just kind of like show Inuyasha. He would hear Kagome's voice or get told to sit, and he'd snap out of it. Setsuna, they actually have her in a dark place, and hearing her Toa's voice brings her out of that dark place and brings her to the light. So that, hearing Toa's voice and her pleading brings her to the light and brings her out of the transformation, which I thought was really nice to see. And she still has this marking on her, so I don't know, was the daughter seal less powerful than Moroku's, or was she a demon for too long that it's actually, a marking on her now? Because she said, I can still feel the blood seething, and I don't know, I guess we'll have to see next episode if this is a marking still on her. But it makes me wonder, the longer she a demon, the more her heart, what is it that old tree said about Inuyasha? Like, the longer you're a demon, the more you lose your heart, or something like that. So, now this is what I thought was interesting. So, it cuts back to Zero, and she's grabbing dirt from somewhere. If you look around the surroundings, it looks like this building. I'm thinking it's the place where Toga died, like that castle, because it looks like she's around a burnt building. So I'm wondering, is she getting like the ashes of Toga's remains, basically? Because she's picking up dirt, and then she says all that remains are the finishing touches for the other half demon girl. Now, fucking told you guys long fucking time ago, I knew the fucking teacher was on it. Now, I don't know what part he's gonna play, but I knew that the fucking teacher was on it. Because anyway, he says that you can see the grim comment from even over here. But his name was also Corinne. Okay. So I don't know, is he Corinne's future descendant, or I don't know. So I know some type of way Zero has to be controlling him, or maybe he's Zero's, apprentice that she sent into the future. Who knows? But he does meet Soda and his daughter, and then the episode just cuts off. So I'm thinking that what's going to happen, he's going to probably take them as hostage to get Toa to come back to the other world. So that way they can kind of like separate the twins a little bit. then the episode, ends and stuff like that. Now, next episode, they're still showing like these spider webs. Riku wants to fight them, and it shows Kurimaru and Sesshomaru's mother. And Sesshomaru's mother is like laughing about something, so I'm not sure, but she was also holding like the Mado stone, so I'm not sure is that where Toga gave her the Mado stone and told her, to train Sesshomaru with it or not? Or is this the falling out between Kurimaru and Toga? Either way, she's back and she'll be back in the next episode. And what I also think is funny, Rin wakes up. We finally see Rin's eyes open. Okay? So I think that's important. So something's going to happen next week where we see Ren's eyes open. Now also, if you go down to it, you see Riku holding Zero. So I'm wondering, is something going to happen to Zero and Ren does wake up? Because some type of way Ren is linked to Zero and Kurimaru. So that's all this week, guys. Let me know your thoughts and see you guys next week.